Well, Ross, how's the offseason treating you?
It's been great so far. I love golfing. It's definitely one positive part of it is, just kind of being away from football, getting to spend some time with guys that come in, new guys, and then obviously getting to go home a little bit, see the family. So that's been a blessing to me. So,
what has the football aspect of the offseason been like for you then?
Football aspect, yeah, we definitely do a lot of weightlifting, obviously, focusing on gaining weight. It was a big emphasis for me. I wanted to get a little bit more size. And then we did a lot of speed training, so that was positive for us too. I mean, I didn't think of it, but being explosive is one thing that's kind of important for us at our position. So that was one thing that helped a little bit in the off season.
How does the explosive help you in your position? Because I'm not a punter.
Yeah. So to put it in terms is, you want to have a lot of power and speed. So being able to help being explosive helps give the leg a little bit more whip to it, and that's kind of where you draw a lot of your power from. Just kicking is being able to have a good whip to your leg. So that's what a lot of people would refer to as power in the specialist world, but that's kind of what was helped to it. Our speed training that we've done with Coach Bolt, bringing him in, and the entire staff that we have here have helped a lot with that.
When's the last time you dropped into like a kickball game or just something that you could just really show off that thing?
Yeah, so we actually had a kickball game, I think 2 weeks ago. As a part of our Get Real, we have Get Real. It's what we do for our team building activities. So that was something that I was excited for. But believe it or not, I didn't do the best on offense. I did really well on defense, though. I was able to make a back shoulder fade catch, and a lot of guys were surprised at the speed that I had. So that was probably the highlight of the game for me was the defense. But I found it a little bit difficult. I also didn't have shoes on, but that's okay.
It's a lot of pressure on you, too.
Yeah, everybody walks up there like, oh, this guy's a kicker. He can kick real well. And now you get up there and you might not do the best, but it's okay. It's just a game at the end of the day. It was just fun being out there with the guys.
So I take it you're not going to bring back the barefooted kicker trend of the 80s?
Well, no, but that is how I learned how to kick was I go back in the yard barefooted. I started with kicking, and then I just could pick up punting, doing it barefooted. So that's kind of how it started for me. It was a little bit like that. So I was always in favor of it, but like at the end of the day, it's just really, really weird to do that. Yeah. You want to talk about being weird? That'll do it for you right there.
So when did you start wearing shoes when you kicked?
Probably I'd say about the sixth grade.
Okay.
Kind of went back and forth, but I could do it at practice in sixth grade football, and my coach saw that and he thought it was fun, and I ended up stopped playing football seventh grade year, and then my sixth grade coach called me and said, hey, look, it's my 10th grade year at this point, never played. He's like, hey, look, we really need a punter for the team. And so I went up there and I was like, sure, no doubt, I can still do it. So that's a little bit of my story for that.
What was were you playing sports in between that time? Were you like the classic soccer player?
No, I never played. Nope, never played soccer. I was a big baseball guy. I also played a little bit of tennis. So baseball was my sport that I thought I was going to go to college to play. Lo and behold, didn't end up working out, but that's okay. The Lord had different plans for me, and I'm grateful to be where I am.
You get to show off the skills in the kickball game, I hear, but what position did you play out there defensively?
To my kickball?
Yeah.
No, I actually played center field, which ended up being a hot spot. For the place we were in the field, it would have been left field, but I actually got a lot of kicks to me. So I ended up being a hot spot, yeah.
Didn't have to fight Bryce to play center field? Or?
No, I don't even know if he was on our team. Golly, who? I think Gary might have been on our team. He's over there. I think he was on our team too. He might have gotten to the outfield at one point. So, yeah, it was awesome having everybody out there.
You said that you weren't the best offensive player out there.
Oh, man. So we had about probably 7 different teams going at one time. Probably the best. Oh, it was a while ago. I'm not sure I remember. Golly. I think Bedford was on our team. I know he did kind of well. That's about all I can think of. I do okay base running.
Are there any other life situations where you kick something real hard, like just comes up clutch for you?
Not that I can think of. Not that wise.
Applicable life skills.
No, not that I can think of.
Does the trajectories of the ball help with your golf game at all? Like, does that translate
Yeah,
at all?
so a lot of the golf philosophies do transfer in the specialist world. Kind of the way the leg is angled in with the golf club. It's kind of close to the same way you would have a leg whip when you're kicking. The difference in the swings and how you would swing depending on where you are, the conditions that are happening. Not swinging full speeds. Obviously, if you play golf, you don't want to swing full speed every time. It's kind of the same thing in the kicking world. Once you swing full speed, you kind of lose a little bit of accuracy, and sometimes a lot of the time actually contact is better than power, and that'll get you a lot further. So yeah, there's a lot of aspects of golf that do transfer over, and we do play a lot of golf, so it's fun.
Obviously, with the new college football game out, I would assume a lot of you guys have been playing it. Is there a guy on the team who's just really gross thus far at that game?
This is my first time playing since NCAA 14. I had the PlayStation 2. My dad had it transferred it, gave it to me pretty much. So I loved playing NCAA 14. This is my first time playing, so I'm new to all the rules and the stuff that or the controls for it. The guys, as far as playing with other guys, I hadn't really played with much of the other guys on the other team just because we just got back from a break. So I am looking forward to play with a bunch of guys. So I'm excited for that.
Do you peep your stats in the game?
I did, yeah.
Find it disrespectful or anything?
I thought the stats were amazing for the most part for me. The only thing I thought might have been a little better was my QB stats. They weren't bad, but I mean, I'm not a quarterback, so I'm not going to complain about my stats. I'm just happy to even be in a game and have the game to play it. So it could have been way worse. I'm grateful for what I've been given. So.
Have you talked to Will or Dan about getting a response?
Man, I've talked about it, but it's all right. You can only go so far with those types of things. We got other guys to do that, and that's not me. So I'm just here to do what I'm supposed to be doing.
To bring it back to football, just for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
Last year, you were statistically one of the best punters in the country. You just didn't qualify. Scored a lot of points. But how do you try to replicate that season, and how do you try to get better from that season? Yeah,
obviously coming off a great season, being humble. You don't want to kind of boast about what you did. And for me, that was kind of easy because there wasn't much of accolades going towards that, obviously, due to the amount that we punted. But being humble and being grateful for what you did, and then going into the offseason saying, how do we improve? What could we have improved? I thought a lot went well with last season, but there's room for improvement everywhere you go. So how do I make myself better? It's not really comparing myself to other people out there, but comparing myself to me, and what do I need to do to kind of make this team better, and what can help them.
With the improvement that you saw last offseason, did you feel like you were able to tap into that this offseason in your sort of summer training regimen going into camp? Yeah, I tried. So before last season, I ended up changing a little bit. I'd say a good bit of kind of form, technique, a little bit of what I did, and I was kind of tedious to know what do I actually need to change and what do I need to keep. So that's a big thing. Obviously, you don't want to change something that works for you. But changing can still help you in some ways. So it was kind of tedious for me to kind of figure out what I need to change. So I knew a little bit of body weight, and I needed to change that. Obviously, get a little bigger. A lot of guys are a little bit bigger in the Big Ten, so I knew that helped put a lot of power behind kind of my swing. And so that was something I knew that I needed to kind of get better at, and being able to be more consistent and kind of being able to do things obviously I'm not Australian, so I can improve on Australian style kicks. So that was something that I knew I could improve on a little bit. Does it get to the point now where you feel like you're changing less because more things are sort of locked in, or you're like, yeah, I can do that well? Yeah, I did find myself during the offseason changing a little less than what I thought I would. I was always, obviously, didn't want to change too much. The thought in the back of my mind was I did well. I don't need to, but I know, just coming from being experienced and kind of doing this for a while, I know there's something I can improve at. So I chose a few things a little bit just to kind of improve it just a little bit. And so I thought that was something that helped me a little bit in the offseason to help improve for the next season.
You mentioned your experience. You're going into your third year here. You're kind of the elder statesman, you and Andrew. How have you kind of helped Luke, Gage, trying to improve in their offseason? Yeah,
so Luke's very good. He does a great job of punting, and that was something he obviously was able to do when he first got here very well. He was new to the American-style punting. Aussies were his specialty, and he does great at that. So for me to be able to help him was a little less than what you would expect from a freshman. So just learning a little bit of kind of the styles we do it, why we do it, what we do, and then what can make him more consistent versus drops, steps, going a straight line. But he helped me a lot, teaching me the Australian style kicks and everything that I kind of learned to be the person I was last season.
This is from the special teams perspective. I guess you're kind of watching from the side. Has there been anybody through spring camp who really jumped out that you saw, whether it was a freshman or just somebody who improved kind of leaps and bounds? Is there anybody you saw who jumped out? Yeah, Grant Meadows does a great job. He's improved a lot with his kicking and his leadership ability, so I think he's done a great job. Engage coming in as a freshman, I know it's kind of tough. It's very nervous, so he's done a good job coming in and learning how to do both kicking and punting. So
he's been able to kind of differentiate the two. He's done a good job with that.